So we want to come to this point where the mind and the body are doing the same thing at the same time. The most powerful way we can get there is with our breath. We only breathe in the present moment. We don't breathe in the past. We don't breathe in the future. My inhale and my exhale is just right now. Ideally, we are breathing in and out through the nose.
Welcome to the world of energy, where science meets spirit. Ancient wisdom merges with cutting-edge knowledge, and the possibilities for a healthier, happier you are endless.
Hi, this is Blaine. Welcome to another episode of Energy Works. Solo episode just with me today. And I am going to call this episode The Art of Slowing Down. And the theme, The Art of Slowing Down, is something that has been coming up. So I want to share with you, you know what it is, the art of slowing down at some level, but why and kind of how this became a thing for me, like it is at the present moment. So there is a rec center at a town near the town that I live in Colorado. And sometimes now I teach a weekly energy medicine yoga class there. I used to own a yoga studio. And when I sold my yoga studio and the community kind of started spreading apart a little bit, some of my former teachers started teaching at this rec center. I already had a relationship with the fitness director of that rec center. And so I recommended to her that, who I thought my best teachers were. And I kind of created a road for her to reach out to these teachers and offer these teachers jobs. And they got it's a rec center, which is part of a city, a municipality. So when you become even if you're just a one class a week yoga teacher or fitness teacher or cycle teacher or personal trainer or whatever you may be at this rec center, you are an employee of the city. And so you have to jump through all of the hoops that must be jumped through to become a city employee, all the HR and the tax and the interviews and the paperwork and all of that sort of thing that municipalities require for you to become an employee. And so my teachers got a little bit of a fast track through that whole process because I vouched for them. And because I am a snowbird, I live 8 months of the year in Colorado and 4 months of the year in Florida. I've always been unwilling to own a class, to, say I am the teacher of this class on this day at this time every week. And maybe there were some other reasons why I was avoiding it, but I always used as my excuse that I only live here part-time. And so when I'm in town, I'm a substitute teacher and I help them out as much as I can, teaching various types of classes. And it's a rec center, so they have workshops and different types of offerings beyond just weekly classes. And so you probably have a similar facility where you live. A big magazine comes out every quarter and it lists everything available at the rec center for the people who live in that town that quarter. And then there's the regular classes and then there's a senior center and then all sorts of other workshops. And so Lexi, who runs the rec center, she sends all of us who can teach workshops an email, usually about 6 months in advance. Hey, in summer of 2026, we need to do our workshop schedule. And so I usually get in 3 workshops a year. I squeeze one in kind of the early spring, and then I do one sometime in the summer. And then I can usually, because I don't go to Florida till the end of October, I can get at the very beginning of their fall schedule. So I usually get like the end of spring, middle of summer, and beginning of fall. And so I was in Florida, and I'd already put out what I was going to teach for spring, which I did. Where I'm in May right now, which I did last April. And so we needed to do a summer one. And I was sitting in Florida in the winter, and I was probably feeling, I don't know, maybe some holiday rush, or also the feeling of the end of the year. And that I think many of us relate to this. Where did the year go? It was the end of 2025. Where did the year go? It was so fast. And so as I was sitting and thinking about what I would offer for a workshop, it just dropped in this idea of being really present and slowing down. And we're all moving and thinking so fast that the present moments of our life, this moment, we miss them. And so I titled my idea for a workshop, The Art of Slowing Down, and then wrote a paragraph along those lines. Is the world moving too fast? Do you wonder where the day went? Do you wonder where the year went? And then some language about how to use energy medicine yoga to be more present and slow down. So I sent her that idea. She loved it. I am teaching that in June. So, January, February, March happens. Because this all has to be done so far in advance. I come back to Colorado, and I am moving through my days, and I get a cold email from a Boulder County employee, Boulder County, Colorado, that said, "Are you the Blaine Wilkes who teaches workshops at the Lafayette Rec Center?" And so I replied back and said, "Yes, I am. I'm teaching one." And I went and found my April one, because this was before April. So I assumed she meant my April one. And so I copied and pasted, this is what I'm teaching in April. Is this what you're referring to? She replies back to me, "No, I mean this one." And she copied and pasted from the materials at the rec center, The Art of Slowing Down. And she said, "We have a quarterly meeting of Boulder County employees, and it's an all-day meeting. We do once a quarter, and the employees are entering a really stressful period." And I won't give you all the details of it. She explained to me why they're coming into a stressful time of the year. And I've been looking for a wellness person to come in and talk to them and give them some tips about staying calm, staying present, and, not getting ahead of themselves and that sort of thing. And I saw this workshop and I thought, this is it. Can you please come and give this workshop to our employee quarterly meeting? And so I said, yes. We worked out how much she would pay me. And there it was. And I have since found out from the rec center that the art of slowing down, that's really resonated with their audience. And so I thought I'm going to do a little discussion with you about it, the art of slowing down, because it seems to be something that is resonating with people right now. And I am actually considering, because I do some public speaking for entrepreneurs and in some other ways. And so actually making the art of slowing down like a formal offering I have for public speaking in the way that I have done it, and will do it in June at the rec center, because at the county, at Boulder County, they sent a survey to all of the county employees, and she copied and pasted for me all of this incredible feedback that she received from their employees. "Thank you so much for bringing the energy lady in. That was really helpful. It felt great to know that you care about our health and wellness, that you brought in someone like that." And she's also already told me that other branches of their government, she has been talking to them about me. And she's like, "Blaine, they're probably going to call you to come in and speak with their people." And so there we go. It seems to be a resonating topic. I offered 10 different techniques and stories and teachings and why. I'm only going to do 3 in this podcast, partially because if you're listening to this, you probably know a good amount about energy medicine yoga. And at some level, it is repetition for you, maybe with a little bit of a different angle to it, this being present and art of slowing down, but also just to keep this short and tight. And so when we want to slow down, when we are trying to be more present and not miss the moment of our lives, one thing needs to happen. Our mind and our body are doing the same thing at the same time. I'm going to say that one more time. Our mind and our body are doing the same thing at the same time. And what happens often is that we are going through the motions of life, our body is, but our mind is off someplace else. And so we are not present. And when that is how we move through the world, we get this sensation of, I'm missing out on my life. Where did it go? So we want to come to this point where the mind and the body are doing the same thing at the same time. The most powerful way we can get there is with our breath. We only breathe in the present moment. We don't breathe in the past. We don't breathe in the future. My inhale and my exhale is just right now. Ideally, we are breathing in and out through the nose. I know there are reasons people have a cold maybe, or have had a broken nose, or a deviated septum, or something like that. So I recognize there are reasons that people cannot do that. But most of us can have our lips slightly sealed, and we do inhales and exhales through the nose. That is a breath that is calming to the body. When we start mouth breathing, that's a signal to the body that we are in stress, because that's what happens. When we get in stress, we start to breathe through our mouth, then the body's like, oh, I'm breathing through the mouth, there must be stress. Oh, I'm in stress, I must breathe through the mouth. Oh, I'm breathing through the mouth, there must be stress. And it creates this cycle that continues. When we are calm, present, when we are in coherence, resonance, we are breathing in and out through the nose. So when you want to be present, lightly seal the lips, breathe in and out through the nose. If you're chopping carrots for dinner and you don't want your mind wandering off someplace else, make sure you are breathing in and out through the nose. The nose breath is the most important breath. The exception to that is when you are intentionally working with your energy. And so when you start tapping, we do the energy medicine yoga breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, or Donna Eden calls it the energy medicine breath. When most of us have stuck energy in our body, I can maybe say all of us have stuck energy in our body. And then we start intentionally working with our energy, that excess energy, stuck energy is too much. It's like the clog in the drain pipe. And then the clog just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and water's trying to get through. We want to release the clog. And so the energy of the clog needs to go somewhere. We send it out through the mouth. So when you're intentionally doing energy practice, it's in through the nose, out through the mouth. When you're moving around through your day, not intentionally doing tapping and tracing and all of these energy practices that we do on ourselves, when you're not doing that, then just in and out through the nose, that is ideally your habit, in and out through your nose. When you feel that stress response is coming on, or you are just not present, you're worrying, you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about the future, covering your forehead with your hand. So if you are watching, then you can see me. I have my hand over my forehead. The heel of my hand is on one side. My fingertips are on the other. The palm of my hand is cupping my forehead over my eyes. And so if you can imagine that, if you're listening, I just have one hand and my eyes are open. I'm wearing my glasses. I'm kind of getting up into my hairline a little bit. I'm using my left hand. The heel of my left hand is over my left eye. The fingertips of my left hand are over my right eye. I'm holding neurovascular points. I am literally using my hand to revascularize my forebrain. I'm bringing blood into my forebrain so that I can become present. So that's a very powerful tool when you catch yourself not being present or spinning or future thinking or past thinking. And because I'm doing energy work on myself, I'll take a few breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. So we talked about breaths. We've talked about holding the neurovascular points. The last one I want to give is I do side body stretches. And so literally extending my arms over my head and then bending to one side with a straight arm. So if you're not watching, I am taking my left wrist in my right hand and I'm bending my body to the right. And so I'm feeling a big stretch in my left rib cage. Or to switch, I take my left hand to my right wrist and I pull my body to the left. And so through my side body, my side rib cage, I'm creating a lot of space for energy to move. While I'm in that stretch, I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We have spleen points that we are giving space for energy to move in that side body rib cage area. And our spleen energy is nurturing energy. It is loving energy, taking care of myself energy. And just the act of stretching, creating space for energy to move is incredible. In through the nose, out through the mouth, doing any kind of stretch it will bring you present. It will loosen up where you're tight and bring you into the present moment. So there's that. So we can breathe in and out through the nose to stay calm. We can hold our main neurovascular points while we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We can do side body stretches while we're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And again, this is a nurturing thing we can do. We can give ourselves a self-hug. When I'm speaking to the public, I call this an energy hug. When I'm teaching to energy medicine yoga students and teachers, I have a fancy energy name. But energy hug is all you need to know. You're hugging yourself in an energy hug. And you just wrap your hands around your rib cage. So you can start with your hands just touching your ribs on either side of your rib cage. And then take one hand and wrap it around your upper arm. So one hand is on your rib cage and one hand is wrapped just right above your elbow on your upper arm. It's a self-hug. You're doing energy work on yourself. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. And that is it. The breath is one thing, the holding the forehead is one thing, the stretching the side body is one thing, and doing an energy hug on yourself is one thing. So those are concrete things. If you can just remember those 4 things and do all of them as you're moving through your day, many times as you're moving through your day, you will start to repattern your energy to be more present because you're going to intentionally bring yourself back into presence over and over and over again. And energy runs in habits and patterns. So you will create this habit, this pattern of being present, and then you won't so much think, where did the day go? Where did the year go? Because you are here for it. That is what I have for you today. I'd love to hear your feedback. Please try these things and let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time on Energy Works. Alrighty, Energy fans, that's a wrap on another positively charged episode of Energy Works. Lauren, this is the part where we get to use our energy puns.
It's been electrifying, hasn't it, Blaine? We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
If you're feeling amped up and you want to keep your energy flowing, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform.
And we'd love to hear from you. So please take a moment to leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates. So light up our inbox.
And spark a conversation with your friends to tell them about us. And we'll see you next time on Energy Works.